feeling ill at ease. Won't the king be offended by their behavior? My father chuckled, then slipped his arm around my shoulders and guided me back into the house. "David is a man after God's own heart," he said simply. "He lights up every room he enters. He elicits love from nearly everyone he meets. Do not judge him harshly, Bathsheba, for one day you may meet him again. Then you will love him too." I didn't argue with my father, but something in me doubted I could ever love such a man as that. According to family history, when my parents presented me to Samuel at the time of my mother's purification, the Ruach HaKodesh touched the ordinarily coherent prophet in such a way that the torrent of words from his lips resembled nothing so much as a stream of gibberish. Though my parents strained to understand the prophet's words, they caught only a few. My father recalled hearing, "Mother to a great man," and "affect the future of Israel." My mother, on the other hand, caught only 2 words. "Tov, woman," a phrase that pleased her very much. At only 80 days old, I retained no memory of my encounter with the prophet, but in the years ahead I came to understand that a river of foretellings and curses had carved out the events of my life. A torrent of words with the power to rip me from people I loved and settle me on unexpected shores. Because the prophet Samuel declared that I would be mother to a great man, my father stressed my duty to marry well and provide my husband with sons. Because my mother heard that I would be not merely Yafeh, pleasant-looking, but Tov, highly desirable. Even in my childhood, she urged me to keep my nails clean and my hair smooth. Because I would be blessed with the gift of beauty, she often reminded me any man father chose would be blessed to marry me. I was an obedient daughter who wished to please my parents and Adonai, so I wanted nothing more than to marry a good man and have as many children as the Lord allowed. The most important duty of any woman, my father intoned nearly every night, was to accept a husband and bear sons and daughters. Once the children were weaned, my husband would teach my sons a trade, and I would teach my daughters how to be dutiful wives. Together, my husband and I would teach our children to reverence Adonai, King of the universe, and the King of Israel, whom God had anointed through his prophet Samuel. A constant theme echoed through every lesson my parents taught. I was special because I had been chosen to bear a son who would greatly influence Israel. Hashem had every right to exercise his sovereign will through choice. He had chosen Aaron and his descendants to be his holy priests. He had chosen the Levites to be his special servants. He chose Saul to be our king. Then after Saul displeased the Lord, Hashem chose David, son of Jesse, to reign over us. When the spring of my 18th year arrived, on a day not long after Passover, my father announced that I was about to commence the journey Samuel had foretold. For the past year, I had been betrothed to Uriah, a soldier in the royal corps known as the 30. The marriage document had been signed, the dowry paid, my future home made ready. All that remained was for the bridegroom to appear at my father's house and escort me to the home we'd share for the rest of our lives together. When the agreed-upon day arrived, I was more than ready to marry the broad-shouldered warrior who'd caught my eye during a harvest festival. I knew I was unusually blessed because the brave warrior had earned my father's approval as well. "Amaris!" About to panic, I turned to the corner where my 10-year-old sister sat on a soft pillow and strummed her harp. "Do you remember where I put my veil?" She scrunched her nose, then pointed to the basket beneath the window. "Elishaba had it. She embroidered it for you." My alarm melted into appreciation as I pulled the rectangle of blue fabric from the basket. Elishaba, the loyal servant who had been Amaris's wet nurse after our mother's death, had embroidered